Hey everybody, welcome back. We are in the top four of the Midwest Premodern Championships.
Yeah.
We got Aaron Dix from Minneapolis in the booth with us. We're going to be watching two names of Magic in Premodern. Jeff Green on Red Green Goblins and Lester Smerling on Mono Blue Stiflenought.
Two heavily represented decks played by guys who've been making them work all day long.
Yeah. Red Green Goblins, longtime classic of this format, and if you played back in Onslaught, it's going to be a lot like that. Probably Stiflenought, kind of a... I mean, it's been around a long time, but it's really been like getting screwed down in the last like month or two, or last 6 months, I would say.
Yeah.
And now it's really started to make a lot of waves in this format.
Yeah, I will say the two that we saw in the top 8 have both been the 16 island variety that has really started taking off.
Yep, pretty much the same. Yeah, but it's down to like there's like 5 slots now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that people are kind of arguing about what best to do with it.
Yep.
We think Energy Series.
Yeah, and I hear we just got rated by NRG Series for a good 800 people. So if you're watching NRG, welcome to Premodern. Premodern is, thanks for asking, a format of all cards before the modern, all cards that were in standard before the Premodern frame came out, but after revised. So it's 4th edition and Ice Age block through 7th edition and Onslaught block.
Yep. Yeah, for a lot of us, it really is a pretty nostalgic format. And for a lot of people, and especially here at Misty Mountain, it seems like we're getting a lot of players who didn't play during those days.
Yeah, for sure. We have a lot of people just like that I've gotten into the game, gotten into it, that just enjoy it because it's good, fun, like interactive Magic. There's lots of it's like old school play style, I would say, more than old school. I mean, it is old school cards, but it's not like 93, 94 or something. Where like I don't know. I look at 93, 94. I've never, and like the games don't look like anything I ever played. But this is like Magic that I played.
Yeah.
In that like 9 year period.
I think there's a really great line from the first episode of the Premodcast where they said, "Old school are the cards you always wanted. Premodern are the cards you actually played with. Premodern are the cards you had." I think that's pretty much me to a T. I love old school. I love casting some of those cards that, oh man, I traded half my first trade binder for a Mox Ruby way back when. It was so like aspirational, but I never had power and stuff.
Yeah, even though it's a closed format, the meta has shifted a lot. Like a year ago, you really didn't see decks like Mono Blue Stiflenought, or the Parfait Oath deck that's been very popular, being super prevalent. And now you do. But it was like a year ago, it was like Blue Eye Control and Elves, you know.
And you've got a pretty healthy format where 40 plus decks would not surprise you if they made a top 8. There are 40 legitimate decks that you can expect to see.
Yeah, one good thing is like there certainly are best decks or decks that are more consistent, but the difference between that and something that you're brewing up or trying out, the delta between that and what you're brewing is not as big as in other formats.
Right.
So it encourages people to like try weird things just for fun, and a lot of people do embrace that. And we see people innovating in weird ways or just not playing the meta decks and just playing really fun stuff every month.
Mike Flores described this format as having a fundamental turn of 3, but play draw matters, which is kind of a crazy combination.
Does or does not matter?
Does matter, or play draw actually doesn't matter. Doesn't matter,
right.
I should say.
I mean, I think it does more than Flores thinks it does.
Yeah, it definitely matters,
but
like,
not like
it's Magic. You'd rather play first,
not like it does in Modern.
It doesn't. Yeah. It's not like game losing,
right?
You know?
100%.
We're just waiting on Jeff Green. I think he's on his way back to the feature match area. Took a little break after before this round.
Yeah, I guess we can talk. Someone's trying to get standings. So we can talk about what was in the top 8 and then what we still have. So of decks, we had 2 mono blue Stiflenought lists. That's kind of what is one of the most popular decks of recent times that has kind of burst onto the scene.
The new hotness.
Then there's 2 Parfait Oaths decks, which is probably the next thing that was the
last month's new hotness.
Yeah. And then we have a Red Green Goblins deck, a Greater Good combo deck.
I see.
I would encourage you to watch the VODs of that deck when we had it on camera. It was really fun to watch. There was a Hermit Full English Breakfast deck, and then a Survival Elves list. So a decent amount of different decks that we had. And so now we have Mono Blue Stiflenought Goblins. That's the matchup that we're seeing. And then the other semifinals is Mono Blue Stiflenought against Parfait Oath.
Sending a copy of the standings. I don't know if you put it up for them or not, but
Are you sending it to me?
I was gonna message you.
Okay, so we're shuffling up. So I don't know who is on the play. Lester says that he's keeping though. He's right next to us.
I love it.
What do you guys like in this matchup? Who was I talking to before that felt like the Goblins list was like pretty close against this? I don't know. Is that you?
Pretty close,
That
yeah.
They have a number of tools, and then also
I think Naturalize main, and I honestly Port's pretty good against Stiflenought, I think.
Honestly, they can race it as well. I mean,
Yeah.
if they get the Lackey draw, you don't have a lot of answers game 1 if you're on the draw. You don't have a 1-mana answer main deck for Lackey.
You're not blocking it, that's for sure.
Right.
Like you're not sending it back to their hand or anything, unless they have the boomerang.
So I played that matchup earlier today, and I was down to 2 just on the strength of a quick Goblin Lackey.
Yeah, it's a format that can have like long, very interactive games, but also has decks that win on turn 2 sometimes.
yeah.
It's crazy.
What's the better 1-drop? The 12/12 Trample or the 1/1 Goblin Lackey?
Lackey all day.
I mean, one thing's a lot less work, but
Right. Not a lot less.
yeah.
I love the Goblin deck. It's just such a joy to play. It's like
Another one that's been in the rotation for me a lot lately.
Well, the one thing that's interesting is the type of removal that you play against. I mean, Swords covers both of those,
Right.
and that's where you're going to start for removal. But beyond that, like I would almost rather play a card like Disenchant in Premodern than a card like Lightning Bolt.
Yeah.
So like it's
You would.
yeah.
and a notable thing about Premodern we should mention too is the cards that are banned that people are not expecting usually are Force of Will and Brainstorm. That's to like keep it from being a lot like
Right.
Legacy. So that's something that's going to be missing from this Mono Blue Stiflenought deck you're looking at.
Man, would it be good?
Yeah,
So
they
I
would
guess
both be just insane on this
if
deck.
we're
Like,
talking about Force of Will, like with the absence of that, instead we try for cards like Foil,
Which
And
is
so, I mean,
a suitable substitute in this deck.
yeah, I would
Yeah.
say like I mean it does a
pretty
really good
scary.
job. Like of things
With
to
Gush.
lose card advantage, you're going to throw away 3 cards. Protecting a 12/12 is definitely worth it. So,
Yeah. And combined with Gush, it's just insane.
the ban list makes a lot of sharp bets for letting you play like some really powerful cards, but it all works and it makes that format like really fun.
All right, we have the turn 1
Okay,
Goblin
turn
Lackey.
one Lackey.
Okay.
The one thing, like Lester had come back here and asked if deck lists were public for open for top 8, and I don't know if they were.
They
but
weren't.
It's possible that he didn't know what Jeff was playing. I don't know.
Oh.
Like,
Or maybe he just wanted to know if he was on green
sure.
and had, do you have Naturalize main deck? Do you have Charm main deck?
Yeah, which obviously would make a big difference in terms of how quickly you go for your combo or like how aggressively you mulligan and whatnot. So
I don't actually have the Goblins deck in front of me.
All right, the Lackey is going to get foiled turn 1.
Oh my.
Foil Island going to the graveyard.
If you gotta, you gotta.
I mean, I'd do it.
Yeah.
The best is if he doesn't foil land there. It's like hilarious.
Oh,
Just hit. Pay the iron price.
Just cared that much.
I mean, there's certainly opportunities. I think I would do that.
Yeah. 2 Naturalize main. Okay.
Yeah, so there are some main deck answers. Is there a Tinker? There's also a Goblin Tinker.
I like the main deck. I'm on main deck Naturalize than mine.
Same. I'm on 2 as well. So.
I got 3.
Ports or Wastelands. You're
Ports.
Port, right? Yep.
I like Port. I think Port's so good. And like honestly, most of the time with Red Green Goblins, I'm taking turn 2 off anyway. It's like me and Will say that Port is your best 2-drop in the deck. Actually, just like slowing it out of your opponent's second turn is.
I don't know. I love me a Piledriver.
So chat's asking, what does the Stiflenought do? It's Stifle or Vision Charm is the other card, and then it's actually this version has 1 copy of Reality Ripple. So it's basically just a ninth card of that effect.
Turn 3, the big goblin turn. He's gonna play a Lackey. Later on the double days.
And I mean, while this Lackey on turn 3 is still pretty scary, it's a big difference between it being on turn 1 and turn 3.
Huge.
Like we could see a connection from Jeff, and still Lester could assemble a Dreadnought and be ahead enough that he's still going to win the game.
So Counter Gush Impulse.
If I would have told Mike, if I would have told you what the 2 decks we were watching are, and Lester was in this match, you would have.
Yeah, definitely
would have spiked that he was playing the Goblin deck because Lester loves the Goblins.
And it's funny because also a card like Stifle, which obviously is in Lester's deck, could get used in a situation of Goblin Lackey. Didn't in this case, but
this is a strong start.
I think on the Matron.
I do think that Goblins is, with the current metagame, Goblins is probably the best aggro deck in the format.
There is Gushin.
Burn will take you to a top 8 right now, but it won't win at the top tables. Oh.
Uh-oh.
We get there.
Okay. Gush, then Impulse. I think he's missing a Dreadnought still.
The hardest part of the mono blue list.
Yeah, that is the biggest downside to having the mono blue is you have 4 Dreadnoughts, and the only ways for you to find it are just the
and
impulses.
Very downplayed by the people who like to speckle on it. Like every time you're like, yeah, but sometimes you still get your Dreadnought. Right?
Yeah, no, really.
They're always like, no, never happens. So it's like there's like a lot of like.
It happens. It does happen. I had a game recently where I Flash of Insighted for 10, and all 4 Dreadnoughts were in the last 12 cards of the deck.
I would say it doesn't seem like it's as hard to find the first, but like if that one gets answered, then I feel like you might be spending a lot of time digging for that second card to Dreadnought.
I put Dreadnought like this was like when I was first started playing the format. I put like blue black Dreadnought together, and I was like, this deck's so insane. I just never lose the anything with it. I played it the first month I played it, and I like just rigged on Dreadnoughts like every single round I played. It was like never again, not doing it.
Here we go.
And that was a deck that had tutors for it.
Yeah. The first one I built was Espernaut. I had, I think, a top 8 with it. I thought it was amazing. I brought it to the PSS and got destroyed every time I took it out of the box.
Yeah.
Every time.
All right, we have a 12-12 ready for this horde of goblins. Just put it at the top.
the difference between Stifle and Vision Charm in this situation feels really important.
Yeah, there still are the 3 tokens in the Siege Gang and the Lackey. So how much damage? I guess you wouldn't be able to attack with the Siege Gang. I'm trying to think at what point are you able to alpha here.
Hit you for 2.
Shoot. Knocking down to 13. 8 for 8.
Yeah.
So BK, do you think Lester's actually cheering for Jeff in this? Do you think he wants? Do you think he wants
I'm not sure
Goblins
he really
to win
wants
more
to
than he
win.
wants to win?
No, Lester loves to win.
Let's be clear, he does love Goblins.
He does love goblins too, though.
Impulse.
Well, he has him. Jeff can kill him. Untap and kill him. He'd throw 2 goblins, untap, throw 2 goblins, and that's 8 life.
So, Stifle is a card that might that makes that line a little bit more risky if there's untapped mana for Lester.
But he can attack as well.
Yeah, I think you swing in and throw everything.
Well, the attack doesn't change things much because the 12/12 is there to block. You can't really attack with the Siege Gang.
Yeah, but if Lester's not attacking, how is he winning?
Right.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, I agree with you that Stifle probably is a pretty decent safety cushion here.
He passes.
All right, he's gonna try and play defense. I guess he's gonna
feels rough.
Yeah, because he's basically saying I have a Stifle, and if you go for just like flinging all these goblins at me, then I'm gonna Stifle one, and then hopefully then be able to win. And beyond that, I guess he's gonna try and assemble another combo with another Dreadnought and just win in one turn.
So now we have a real decision at the end of turn.
Do we chuck these goblins at our opponent's face?
You could also, if you're not gonna try and go for the win on this turn, you could just attack with 3 of the tokens, and then fling the one that gets blocked, and then you've dealt 2 from just attacking, and then you would have 6. So isn't that?
Yeah, I think not throwing might be better.
Yeah,
because then you would still have the Siege Gang, and you make him use a Stifle.
Yeah, you get 2 free damage.
Yeah. Yep. So the Dreadnought does block 1, then he'll take 2 damage down to 6, and we'll see how aggressive Jeff gets with. Oh, he did. Yeah, he goes to 4. Sorry.
Yeah.
Activation as well. Yeah. So, would you go for it here, or would you do it during upkeep, or would you wait even more?
I mean, I think you wait.
Yeah.
There's no pressure for you to.
Yeah, I guess
do
it's
it.
not like you're afraid of.
Lester's the one who has to do something here.
Right.
Okay.
He's got a 12/12 on board and he's on the back foot. In defense with a 12/12.
Jeff's gonna go for it. There's an
okay.
So there's nothing here, right?
Yeah, you don't get to free counter spell with a Stifle.
Your misdirection doesn't do a.
Yep.
All right, so
Right, have support for mana 2 turns.
Was there a?
It's a Wasteland. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he had a Wasteland. I don't think he had a. Maybe I was mistaken.
Somebody else.
Yep.
Let's talk about sideboards for these players. I mean, how much were you expecting? A bunch of red, like, was your sideboard, Aaron? Like, did you have Hydroblast and whatnot in it?
Yeah, Hydroblast and all.
Lester has a nice sideboard for goblins. I think he has 2 Hydroblasts, 1 blue elemental blast. So
yep,
good set of blasts.
Bring those in.
He has 2 powder kegs in his board, which
interesting.
Is a decent card against goblins. I don't like
it.
He's got an off the wall.
Too varied.
It'll clean up the tokens.
Lester's got a really off meta sideboard. I like.
And he's got 2 Masticore in his board, which I think are the big one. Like, because
you've got so little mana.
I do not love playing against.
He's playing 16 islands. He's gonna put in a Masticore.
Yeah, that is a good point. But
I don't think I love that.
So on the other side, we have Jeff. He's got a couple copies of Pyroblast, a Red Elemental Blast, bringing a Hull Breach, and 2 more Naturalize. think those are the cards I look. The other ones are
Yeah.
Premod's Crypts, Tranquil Domain, Caller the Claw, Goblin King, and
I think you
Pyrokinesis.
bring those in over the Mogg Fanatics or the the less impactful goblins.
Yeah, so looking at this,
You're not
I'm-
worried about any blockers. You don't need the Fanatics.
yeah, Sharpshooter could come out.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
Sharpshooter.
And I mean, like, you could take out Gempalm Incinerator. You also could leave that in if you think cards are worse, because it always cycles.
I like taking
I
out
took
the
out.
Gempalm.
I was taking out incinerators.
Yeah. Pull the
They do
Gempalm.
cycle.
Yeah,
So
but
if there's worse things, you can take that out instead.
pull that out for blasts, and then you want to fit in 2 more Naturalize. So you take out a couple Fanatics.
Yeah.
Or take out a
Sharpshooter's
Tinker.
probably
Yeah,
Well, Sharpshooter,
Sharpshooter. You can go off with the
yeah, that's not happening.
at the
much in
end.
this matchup.
No.
The one thing that's nice
He only has one
for
prospector.
Jeff is I feel like he has enough interaction. He has enough, like a Hull Breach, 2 more Naturalize, and then the Red Elemental Vest and Pyroblast, that
Yeah.
he can kind of play this aggro control role. Like, I feel like before he was almost afraid of what the Dreadnought deck
Yeah.
can do, and now I feel like now he has just enough interaction that he says, okay, I can put some pressure on, and then
Yeah, I think you
When-
get rid of the things that don't put pressure on still.
I was testing this match with Will, and I brought in 6, and he's bringing in 6, and it was
Mhm.
like really rough for the Dreadnought deck, I thought.
Okay.
Like,
This was one of when I started talking about Dreadnought with Tom. He was telling me this one can be a tricky one.
you know Jeff Green from CubeCon, where he had the coolest cube at the con,
Yeah.
in my opinion, the Old Border foil cube.
That's
It's
pretty
really-
rad.
It's beautiful.
It was fun to look at, and yeah, it was.
Yeah.
A lot of people really enjoyed it. So
He's from Milwaukee. Yeah, does a lot of magic trading.
he owns a
Yes.
shop.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't own a shop yet, but he's
Is it a
does a lot of
storefront then?
online. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the name of the storefront?
Good Luck Games.
Good luck, game.
I think
Yeah,
that's what it
something.
is. Be wrong on that, but yeah, that cube probably need a bodyguard. Yeah, there were also some other cubes. I mean, we had, I mean, there were, yeah, there was a
We
lot
had no
of things.
issues.
Yeah, a lot of things could have gone wrong. There was a lot of good faith, but there were also a lot of measures that we did to prevent stuff from going wrong.
I invited one of my new Magic friends to an Alpha Cube draft that we played at a bar during my time with the Northern Paladins, and we got we were halfway through the cube draft, and he's slowly realizing that, like, oh, an Alpha Sarah Angel is like right next to my open beer. So like, I better be really careful. It was hilarious. It was such a fun time. It was a lot of goofy stuff, but you know, there's one that needed a bodyguard for sure. And having modern players playing alpha cards and slowly realizing, you know, how much
Is this-
their 40 card
you
deck
have,
was
you have
worth.
an alpha cube, or is this
I
just someone
do
else?
not. This was
Oh, yeah.
this was another gentleman who used to play with
Yeah.
us.
Let's take another break.
I think I see a shadow.
No, we
there.
we got shuffling.
If he's comfortable leaning back, feeling good.
One game up.
I wonder. I didn't ask Jeff like what he had played because I mean, how many? There were a number of Stiflenought lists in the room.
Oh yeah.
This is a matchup he's played earlier today.
This is like I always tell people to play.
Goblins?
Yeah, goblins.
Well,
I lent it to my friend.
I think having the main deck naturalizes really gives you outs against like some like if you talk about Parfait Oath and Mono Blue Stiflenought,
Mhm.
like those without the naturalize in the main deck, I feel like you're kind of at a disadvantage, and those are decks that have been increasingly in popularity.
Yep.
And so I really like the addition of those in the main deck.
It's just all the things that actually beat you. Your enchantments and artifacts. Like if you're playing fair magic, you're pretty happy to be goblins most of the time.
Yeah. It's a really strong deck. the aggro deck that plays like a combo deck.
What range of set defines Premodern? Ice Age or 4th edition through Scourge?
95 through 2003, right?
Yeah, I believe those are the years, yeah. All right, looks like we're going to get things started for this second game. Lester on the play. Looked like he was about to put a card back. Was he on a mulligan? Jeff just picked up his deck, so is he mulliganing? Lester's still thinking. Or maybe he's happy with his hand. I don't even see any lands in there.
Saw one.
Okay. Which side would you want to be here on? Would you want to be the mono blue Stiflenought or you want to be Goblins?
That one.
Goblins? What about you, Aaron?
Oh man, I love both. I love the Goblins deck, and especially after sideboard, it's got a lot of answers. I've been having a lot of luck with the blue shrimp lately.
Okay.
Yeah, Vampiric Tutor, Mystical Tutor, band
Necropotence.
cards, yeah.
Yeah, there's actually
Necro.
there's a fantastic website that covers everything. I think it's
Yep, Premodern Magic. Thank you.
premodernmagic.com.
Better is listing the cards you can play, because those can kind of blow people's minds.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Like,
when you talk about like
Oath of
or
Druid, survival,
like,
yeah.
it in your mind, it's
Gush,
Tinker.
like,
Tinker.
these cards are insane, but really, given the format that they're the things that they do, survival might be an exception, but like
Yeah, survival. Can
sometimes
get
there are
nuts.
times that your opponent gets to trigger Oath, and you're like preparing for the worst, and it's
And they drop a 1/1 on the table.
yeah, it's like a Shard Phoenix or an Ancestress Chosen, so it's not always
Yeah.
mysterious.
Or a Gorilla Shaman.
But we had one survival deck in the top 8. I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
survival's awesome in the format.
No, there were
but it's
two.
not
There was
really
the
a
Elves and
problem.
there was the
Yeah, it was
Elves.
awesome.
Elves and Feb. Both lost in the first round.
Skirk Prospector. That is how Jeff's going to start things off.
Not the Lackey drop that he wants.
Though, I mean,
Huh?
Skirk Prospector is a card that I've really enjoyed in Goblins. There are just certain situations, especially if you're using Goblin Matron, you being able to like cash in and play another card in that turn, like there's really good tempo. I mean, it makes days a little bit awkward. I don't know. It's nice with another creature to attack with Piledriver.
I love the Prospector.
Yeah.
I think I
play 3 in a lot of lists.
played 3. Might be on 2.
I'm on 2 currently.
I just shave a lot of stuff.
I'm
hard.
I'm perfectly happy right now with a Goblins list to shave some things for Naturalize in the main.
Mhm.
I will play Naturalize, 2 double Naturalize main deck. I love it.
And so there was an opportunity. Days was played, and so Jeff could have used the Skirk Prospector, but he's valuing the. I mean, I think that makes
He
sense.
values Prospector over
I think that makes sense.
Piledriver. It makes sense to me. I think it's great.
Right, Mogg Fanatic joins the fray.
Also known as a red mana.
Every goblin looks like a lotus petal if you play the deck right.
Yeah.
My Goblin deck's out there now, though. I only play one Piledriver.
Only play one.
Really?
Okay.
I love that card.
Well, no wonder you say you never have anything to do on turn 2 with your Goblins deck.
Yeah, right.
Well, when I had Piledriver, there was a lot of times where like I'd play the Piledriver and I should have just ported them.
Wow. I mean, that's been a powerhouse in the deck when I've played it. That's one of the cards that makes me want to play Goblins.
I know it sounds weird, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Okay,
one
so-
monthly that I ran.
Man, what a hand from Lesser. For a hand without Dreadnought, this is pretty great. He's got a Hydroblast, Gush, Foil
Jeff's
hand.
hand is pretty pokey. He's stuck on 2 lands. He's sacking goblins in order to get a Warchief in play, is just what Lester wants right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should. He doesn't have it yet, but I think this can't see this not going pretty well for Lester right now.
He's firmly in the driver's seat. He'll get a Dreadnought before he gets 1-1 to death.
Jeff has been stuck on 2 lands for
Yep.
a while, so if he does get to the point where he's able to get to 3 or 4 mana, he might be having much more powerful turns where he's putting ringleaders and then refilling his hand. Yeah, right now he's just porting. Lester's okay with that.
So many islands.
Like a third of his lands on the board right now.
Remember when we said he couldn't cast a Masticore if he brought it in?
Yeah.
He got ported and he could still do it.
Every time I say something, I end up looking like an idiot 5 minutes later.
That doesn't mean
this is typical commentary for me.
That doesn't mean you're incorrect in your statement, though.
Right. This means the universe wants to prove you wrong.
Right.
Well, Goblin Lackey is a way to kind of get around of not having a lot of mana, but
It's a way to get hard
hard
Lester understands what's happening here, though.
Yeah.
If you had a Pyroblast in your hand right there, would you sack your Prospector to...
I think I would. I think I would try.
Pay for the days as well.
I feel like things are going poor enough that you need to. I forgot to start our round time. Not that really.
I think we're probably
I
not
don't
going
think
to
we're
time
timing
here.
our top
Yeah,
fade.
it's just more to see
That's
like
for
how long.
that's for real.
This is going
formats.
up. This is just to see like how long the match has been.
And his hand is ridiculous. He's got a third land though.
8 cards.
Slam.
I've always really liked Lester's technical play overall. He's just, like a pretty very thoughtful player. Like
And
really
he has very good vision of like understanding of like how the matchup plays, and I think he can put himself in positions. And because even when I went over there, he was asking about like, oh, were you watching that last game? Like, and he was questioning like, should I have gone for that position? I wasn't watching close enough for to say anything, but it's clear that he's critical thinking of how the sequencing of everything.
For sure. Does he not have a way to make the Dreadnought happen?
He's digging.
It also could be now, since he's Gush, could be waiting like to have more mana so that he can protect it, because like Rishadan Port might have his mana down and then leave him vulnerable to, I guess it would have to be like a green source and then a removal.
You got called the old man of magic. Did you catch that?
Yeah, that's he said. He's even older than me.
Drop a boil, opponent double gushes.
The truth and has less hair.
Yeah.
Right, so it looks like Lester's now going for it.
Phyrexian Dreadnought has been cast. And
Charm.
gonna phase it out.
Nice.
Classic combo.
Do you think this is ever a card that you would stifle, like the Wooded Foothills, if like you're trying to protect it from like Naturalize effects?
Yeah. Keep him off green. I love it. He doesn't have
He
any.
just drew a stifle too.
He should absolutely do that.
I mean, it might depend on like how many counter spells you have in your hand, but I can definitely see making that line.
I compliment Lester's play that he like almost missed his Portent draw.
Caster's curse, I guess.
It happens to you too. I'm glad.
Some people have said that they just don't put Urza's Bauble in their deck so they don't have to forget an Urza's Bauble trigger. That's.
I hear you.
Do you think Jeff played the Wooded Foothills and Lester was like, "Oh crap, there's a stifle on top of my deck. I'm supposed to draw it."
Actually watched a match back recently where I had against Jens missed 2 bobble triggers and dropped a game in the match.
Okay.
Like,
That's why it's bad.
Oh man.
All right, we do see a Stifle on the fetch lands.
I mean, I top 8'd that tournament.
Goblin Matron will get dazed. The Skirk Prospector has now been cashed in.
Actually, I think I won that tournament.
Oh, the double days.
Oh, boy.
Days. And the Dreadnought's back in play.
Yeah, this is
So we just need 2 swings here.
pretty
There's
bad for Jeff.
pass.
And without green
Pass
mana,
with 7 in hand.
he doesn't really have any answers, right?
Did draw a foil. Wooded Foothills.
Ooh.
There's a
There
Hull Breach.
is Hull Breach.
Oh, and it resolves. Got a handful of islands.
Should he have ported? I think?
Yeah.
Or I guess.
He-
I mean, Lester's already played 3 days or something.
I mean, he's playing. I
Yeah,
mean, he's essentially playing around days, not porting.
because then you shut
Yeah.
off Counterspell.
So you
but
open
you're
yourself up
vulnerable
to
to
days.
daze.
Counterspell, I likely poured out though,
Okay.
if I'm Dreadnought.
Yeah, I guess.
Not Lester though. See, all right, the curse has been passed to me.
I would say you do get to improve into like Hydroblast and whatnot, so there probably are less 2-mana Counterspells post board. Dreadnought was off screen because it was phased out because of Vision Charge. Okay, so just kind of he's won the battle. I don't know if he's won the war. I mean, like he's got the Dreadnought off the table, and now we can
Time
kind
to
of
rebuild. Yeah.
go to the long game. And I mean, is this resolving? Are you getting Ringleader? You get a Siege King
With
Commander?
this much mana, I would. I get Ringleader. Well, you
Yeah. Try to restock your hand.
I mean, I can see. I would accept Siege King Commander because it's like if that's resolving, then like that's probably the one
Yeah.
card that makes the quickest pressure. But I think in general you go for a Ringleader in this situation. I mean, there's a Goblin Tinkerer in the list too. That's also a card you could if that's
Oh,
resolving.
he's got that.
Yeah,
I'll play that. I used to have one. And it was
yeah. I never had that many situations that I really wanted it in game one, and so it's not a card that I usually play.
I play one main deck.
the
I-
the
he's
times I
looking
wanted
at
always
it.
seem too slow.
I think the metagame has
It's-
improved that like there are many more Mox Diamonds.
He's giving it a hard look.
It does go to work on a Parfait deck though.
It does. It really does. I've started dabbling with different goblins, Vandal and Tinkerer. Trying to.
I think I
trying to
like
deal with
Tinkerer
both of
better
them.
more than Vandal, but
I do too, but depending on the deck, I think in a burn deck, I've been leaning on Vandal.
Turn 1 Vandal's probably pretty good against this deck. Can't
Yeah.
attack you.
Yeah, makes him fully defensive.
how did Jeff win game one? It was
On the back of
He just rolled him.
yeah,
Pretty much.
super aggressive draw. Lackey
Yeah,
first
turn
turn.
1 Lackey.
turn 1 Lackey got foiled, turn 3 Lackey stuck, which
Yep,
got
that's right.
I still feel like the game went for a while.
Yeah. I don't think Lester was ever super in it.
Siege King Commander. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's been a long day. Thank you, chat. Yeah, Siege King Commander, like off the Goblin Lackey, and
Yep.
then he was able to chip in and then finish them off with that. But we do have a Goblin Tinkerer. So is Lester? This is one downside of the Stiflenought deck. Like once things are in play, it's not very good at answering.
Yeah, he has Boomerang, and then he's got the Blast.
And so not only would he needs to bounce the Tinkerer or have like a bunch of copies of Stifle or Vision Charm, he needs to find his Dreadnought combo, and he's got to prevent Jeff from developing the board more. So I feel like really back against the wall for a
He's
lot.
only
After board, he does have more answers to this.
Hydroblast and Blue Elemental Blast.
right.
Okay.
He's got those, but also he only needs one attack, so he could potentially stifle it with it tapped for an attack like this.
Stifle too. Yeah, it's like
Or
there's
you Vision
ways.
Charm.
There are ways.
So if Jeff ever gets to the point where he's not attacking with the Tinker, then you need to, because you could do it at the end during Lester's turn and then untap from Jeff's perspective and then do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be tricky. But right now it looks like he's valuing the pressure and attacking for 2. Lester's going to float 2 and then gush.
Why float 2?
Well, at least for that Dreadnought in hand.
Let's play 2 Dreadnoughts.
Deal with them both. Here's Dreadnought.
Okay.
We'll call it
Dreadnought numero
1.
uno.
I guess it
BD1.
technically it's 2. This
So-
one is getting Vision Charmed.
Rexy 1.
He does. He does have. He could drop 2. He's got a stifle as well. Oh, he's not gonna. Oh, he's gonna stifle. Trigger.
Okay.
Cross phase.
Oh, it's phased out. Okay. I feel like it was face down last time. It was phased out, so I was confused.
I think he had it off screen at some point.
So Lester
So
has a,
untap.
Lester has a stifle ready, right?
Yep.
Is there? So Jeff needs another piece of interaction because he doesn't have enough toughness.
Needs a Fire Blast.
I think there's-
Okay. Yep. There is a stifle.
And you don't immediately grab your 1 card in hand.
There's a
Naturalize.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
He drew a Vision Charm.
Here, he's got another one. Wow.
Okay.
But he's got no way to answer
Yeah, but the Tinker.
the Tinkerer.
He needs a 3rd way. 2nd way.
Wow.
Add it.
Well, I think that's kind of the story of my day, at least, is, he's only got 1 card in hand. What are the chances?
Yeah.
Sure enough. All right.
There's
Okay.
Okay. That's really good because now he's
Yep.
got the backup.
What if he has?
No way.
Oh my goodness. They're just.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Check the graveyard.
He just played his 7th Naturalize. Wow.
Yeah. Unless they're down to 3, he does not have a lot of time.
Brutal.
Next turn,
Oh.
he's dead.
He draws a Dreadnought.
Massacre. It's Massacre! Oh my god!
It'd be hilarious.
There's a powder kick, but this is too slow.
Yep.
It's right here. You could attack for 2.
If I find out that he put in Powder King over Massacre.
Oh, there it is.
He says,
Oh,
do I have a
no.
I can pretend to have a stifle. No.
Oh, bummer. Oh,
Pollen. Pyroblast also. And
such a close match.
I was
Like,
able to close
really,
things out with-
really close matchup.
Yeah, Lester did a good job of trying to find a spot where he was able to protect that Dreadnought through that Tinkerer. But
He was
Jeff
just drawing
just-
dead.
Jeff just having those backup naturalizes.
He just always had it. Just clutch.
I'm gonna go
Clutch
check to see
draws.
where our other match is.
They've got to
If they're
be.
still playing.
They've got to be done.
I said that last time. And then
It is parfait. the
It
other
is
side.
parfait. Yeah, but it's John. He plays tight and fast.
He did board him in. If he would have boarded in Massacres over
Oh, boy.
Keg, you would have won.
Well, I guess you don't realize that you're gonna have 8 mana on the board. Wow.
I totally didn't see a Goblin Tinker in his board. It's main deck, right?
Yeah, 1 main deck.
He's trying to board a. Abos. You find a way.
Okay, well, we have our finals are set. We have Will Hurst is going to be sitting on the other side of Jeff Green now. So
Oh, another Stiflenought
Oh wow.
Goblin match.
yep. So Jeff is going to be facing the same deck, just a different opponent. Just another day for him or another round.
Yep.
Will in his second finals, second Misty Mountain
Yeah,
Yeah.
he won the
Premier
first one.
Tournament
So.
of the Year finals.
Yep.
He won our first one.
Oh.
We had 3 this year. Will won the first one. He top 8'd. Did he top 8 the second one?
No.
No, he didn't.
So I think we're going to take a short break as we get things set up, but it'll probably only be a couple minutes as our players get situated. So we'll be back with the finals of the Midwest Premodern Championship. So stay tuned. We will be right back.